Class knowledge a daily gain, levels up your gaming brain. So you want to start healing as a druid? That's amazing. Let's get it covered. All the basic healing, all the defensives, what you need to think about and how to do it. Let's go. So let's start off with the healing. The most important heal that you have is your Lifebloom. With the normal spec, you can add this to 2 targets if you are spec'd into Undergrowth. One important thing to add is the photosynthesis talent that will make it, if you have a Lifebloom on yourself and on target that's taking a lot of damage, it will heal 20% faster. And if you have it on 2 of your allies, it will have a 4% chance to activate the bloom effect and actually make it heal a lot instantly. It's also important when you renew your Lifebloom that you wait until there is less than 4 seconds left of the Lifebloom to add the bloom effect when you renew it, because it's gonna give you a lot of healing instead of just wasting the renewal of your Lifebloom on nothing, like this. That's almost 100k extra for just renewing it in time, and that's great. To track that, I would recommend that you get LifebloomGlow, and that add-on will just make the Lifebloom glow on your frame, so you know when to renew it. It's also important that with Lifebloom you also get your focus growth, which will stack up to 3 times and will increase the healing of Lifebloom by up to 18% when you have 3 stacks. Another very important thing with Lifebloom is that if you need to switch targets which have the Lifebloom, if someone starts taking a lot of damage and you need that extra 20%, it's important to keep track of who you added it to first, because it's gonna look like this. If I add it to him or her and to him, and then I need her to have a lot of healing, and I just add it to myself, I'm actually going to remove that one and keep that one. So what I need to do if I have the Lifebloom on them is to add one more to her and then to me to remove his. So that's something that you need to keep track of. When you put Lifebloom up, you're also going to get clear casting on your Regrowth sometimes. And Regrowth is a big heal that will instantly heal a lot and also add a heal over time effect. If you have your tier set and you use your clear casting of Regrowth, it's also going to apply Nourish, which is another heal, at a 200% effectiveness. And that's a very good extra heal as well. So therefore you want to use the Regrowth clear casting when you're able to do it. A good thing to know as well is that if I put Lifebloom on my teammates, for example, and then I can run around the corner and put Regrowth on myself, and it's actually going to add the Regrowth heal over time effect to my teammates as well. As long as they have Lifebloom active, it's going to add the heal over time effect to them as well. Very good. Another heal over time effect that's very good to keep up on all your targets, including yourself, is Rejuvenation. Rejuvenation will also allow you to use your Swiftmend, and that also includes Regrowth. So Regrowth and Rejuvenation allows you to use Swiftmend. Swiftmend is very good for instant healing, and it will also renew all your hots on your target. So if I do put Lifebloom, Regrowth and Rejuvenation on this one, and I press Swiftmend, it's going to heal 145k and renew all the hots, and also add another healing over time to the target. Very good as well. Another very efficient thing you have is your Grove Guardians. What Grove Guardians does is that it will summon small trends that will heal with Swiftmend and Nourish, and they are also very important to know. They are also based on your Mastery Harmony, so make sure that you have as much healing up as possible when you summon your trends to get as much healing out as possible as well. You can add 3 of them at once. You also have your Wild Growth, which will add a hot to up to 5 targets. It's very expensive on mana, so I rarely use that one. It's only when you actually really do need and have the time and mana to put some extra hots up on your targets. Same thing goes for Efflorescence that you can add to the ground, which also heals everybody who's in the circle. But it's very mana draining, so be careful with that one. So healing as a druid, you want to make sure that you always, in the beginning of anything that you're doing, put Mark of the Wild, the buff, to increase the versatility by 3% on all your allies. Another very big heal that you have is your Nature Swiftness. I always make a macro for using Nature Swiftness with Regrowth, since that's what it will do. It's the best thing to use it with. It's gonna give you 100% increased healing on your Regrowth and make it an instant cast as well. So it's very big healing on that one. Another very big spell that you have is your Incarnation Tree of Life. It will shapeshift you into the Tree of Life, increasing all your healing by 15% and make your Regrowth instant cast increase all the healing of everything you have, and also your Entangling Roots will be instant cast. So if someone is chasing you, it's very good to just root them down instantly. If you are in that form, you will also have 120% extra armor in that form. The form lasts for 30 seconds and you can always shapeshift in and out of the form during those 30 seconds. It's also very important to know that when you have your Tree of Life active, every 10 seconds you are going to summon a Grove Guardian. And for every Grove Guardian that fades away, it will reduce your cooldown of your Tree of Life by 5 seconds. So it's good to use the Tree of Life pretty early in the game, and then you will have a chance to actually use it another time in late game when you actually need a healing the most as well. I also spec into Innervate. Very good to make a macro to just cast that on yourself. And what this will do is that it will allow you to cast your spells with no mana cost for 8 seconds. So if it's a long game and you actually run out of mana, it's so good to have Innervates saved for that moment to just be able to throw out all the healing you have. Overgrowth is also an amazing spell. If you're playing against a shaman or an evoker, that can actually purge all of your healing. Or if you miss to renew and you are in a bad spot, you just press that and it will add Rejuvenation, Regrowth, and Lifebloom instantly to your targets. Very good spell to use, and make sure to use that with respect as well. Your Tree of Life will look like this, so you can just spam your Regrowth if you need to. If you need to get out a lot of healing. Rejuvenation as well, very good. And also very important to know, if you use your Swiftmend like that, your next Rejuvenation or Regrowth will have extra healing as well. So make sure that you don't waste that on someone who don't need a healing. So that would be your Soul of the Forest, which means that Swiftmend will increase the healing of your next Regrowth or Rejuve by 150%. So it's a very big heal, so make sure that you don't waste it. The next important thing is your Cenarion Ward, which is a shield that you put on your target. And if the target takes damage, it will put a hot on the target for 101,000 healing over 8 seconds. Very big healing. If you have Cenarion Ward on your target and you use Swiftmend, you will also renew the time of that as well as your hots. You also have your Iron Bark, which is a big cooldown. Iron Bark will make your target take 20% reduced damage and also increase the healing over time effects by 20%. When you put Iron Bark, it's also good to have as many rejuvenations up as possible, because the target that has Iron Bark will receive 75% of the healing from all the rejuvenations as well. If you combine Iron Bark with Adaptive Swarm, which also increase the effectiveness of your periodic effects by 20%, your healing will be insanely high. So you can see here, the healing is very fast now. I always spec into Renewal as well if someone decides to go for the healer as a kill target. It's a 30% instant heal of your maximum health, and you can use it in any shapeshift form that you're in. So it's very good defensively. Another spell that I usually do use defensively is Tranquility, which is a channel heal, and it will heal for a lot of healing and it stacks all the time. And it's very good to use defensively as well, or if you're in a hard spot where you are afraid of casting Regrowth to get kicked or anything like that, or if someone is training you really hard. Because if you do spec into Keeper of the Grove as your PvP talent, Tranquility will protect you from all harm while it's channeled, and it increases the healing by 20%. So that's very good to use if you are in a hard spot or if you are being trained and you can't do anything about it. When it comes to healing with my Druid, I always try to play very offensively, because it's more important to put out the healing than to put out the little damage that you will do and just drain your mana for nothing. So focus on the healing is what I recommend for everybody. Don't focus on doing DPS. The one thing you can focus on as a Druid that's very good to do is to try to put Cyclone on the healer, for example, when you get the opportunity to do that. It's very good to do that with your Call of the Elder Druid if you are spec'd into that. Reactive Racing is the other one that I would go for if I not go for the Call of the Elder Druid. What this does is that if someone is purging your heals or in some way dispelling them, they will have the movement speed reduced by 30%, and also they will be silenced and rooted for 3 seconds. So it's very good to play that against shamans and also priests and evokers as examples. If you feel comfortable enough on Druid, I recommend try to go for Call of the Elder Druid sometimes. So what you need to do with Call of the Elder Druid is to make sure that you shapeshift before you do use your Cyclone. So go into travel form or cat form or whatever, and then use Cyclone. If you do that, the Cyclone will be super quick to do. And that's a very good way to win games if you find opportunity to do it. If you're not in Call of the Elder Druid, the Cyclone is pretty slow compared to when you are using the Elder Druid. If you are being trained as well, it's very important to go into bear form as soon as possible and try to have healing up on yourself. And if you don't have healing up on yourself, make sure to use Overgrowth if you have that available, and activate your friend-side regeneration to heal yourself a lot. You have your renewal, and then you also need to activate your bark skin if you are being trained. It will reduce all the damage you take by 20% and increasing your healing received by another 20. So it's very good. And it will prevent all the damage from delaying any of your heals at all. And also make sure as a druid that if you are being trained, try to use your vortex, for example, if you're spec'd into that. And that will drag them back if they're trying to run after you. So I usually put that down, go into travel form, and use my wild charge to just jump away. So I do either that, or I activate Stampeding Roar. And Stampeding Roar is very good to use for your teammates as well, since that will increase your friendly players' speed as well if they are chasing a target, for example. If I see that they are not catching up to a target, I just activate that for their sake. Otherwise, you can also, if you are in a very tough situation, just press your dash and you will go into cat form immediately and just be able to run away very quickly, and then just switch over to travel form. Another very good thing to do is to, if you have your wild charge available and you need to get to your teammate very quickly, and maybe put a stun on someone because you have your Mighty Bash, which will stun someone for 4 seconds. And that one you can also use in every shapeshift form, very good CC as well. So you can press your wild charge and go to your friendly targets and stun the other target that you wanted to stun. Very efficient to just get around the map very quickly. Another thing with Tranquility is that if you have a friendly target that's fighting a rogue, for example, and he gets into a duel with the rogue, or he gets into a smoke bomb with the rogue and you can't heal him, use Tranquility because that will heal them through that. That's the only way that you can heal someone, through a smoke bomb or a duel or something like that. Very efficient that way as well. So don't just waste it before you know that you actually need it for a moment like that. That, my friends, will pretty much sum up the basic healing of the Restoration Druid. If there's anything you're wondering, just let me know and I will be happy to help you. I do have a lot of the macros that I'm using and weak auras as well for Druid linked in my Discord. And my Discord you will find in my bio, in my description, on both YouTube, TikTok and Twitch. So to sum it up, the important thing is to keep Lifebloom always up on the target that's taking a lot of damage. And if it's a lot of damage, keep one Lifebloom on yourself as well to increase the healing. Make sure to use your Overgrowth to handle fast swaps, or if you're being dispelled on your healing, use Swiftmend to extend your healing, and make sure to use your Regrowth or Rejuvenation on the one that needs the healing after Swiftmend. Also try to use your Incarnation Tree of Life pretty early in the game. And for really bad moments, you have your Iron Bark, Adaptive Swarm, and your Nature Swiftness with Regrowth. Most important heals that you have. If you did find this helpful, please do share it, leave a like, leave a comment with what you think, if there's anything you're wondering, what you want to see next. By the way, don't forget to sign up to the 2v2 tournament coming up 6th of April, starting at 9 PM CET. Link in my bio. See you there. And until next time, everybody, peace.